Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, Jeff Trenopole, the Iceman. And as always, I'm bringing you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, home of the almost Cinderella story, Cincinnati Bearcats. They played great this weekend. They just ran into a buzzsaw named the University of Houston. Now, this show and every show is brought to you by T Properties. T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out their website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. All right, guys, you found the show. Do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. Smash that thumbs up. I'm up to 856 subscribers. That is awesome. I appreciate every single one of you. All right, we got a special guest today. It's Terry Nelson, the broadcaster from the University of Cincinnati Bearcats. But right now, I'm going to bring in my co-host Jeremy Dimebag Dean. What's up, Dimebag?
Had to throw this up there just for Crip and the rest of the guys. You know, one day only, guys. One day only.
There you go.
Only Dimebag for one day.
All right, well, I think we'll do some Bearcat talk. All the Bengals fans are freaking out, so let's talk some Bearcats. We'll get to the Bengals here a little later on, but that's right now. Let's get to the man. Terry, what's up, brother?
What is going on?
What's going on?
Tell
me something good.
Well, I got nothing good on the Bengals right now. They haven't signed anybody.
Like I said, tell me something good.
Tell him something he doesn't already know, Jeff.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Well, something good for me is I think the future is very bright for the Bearcats, despite what some of our fans think.
Well, those aren't really fans. Those are fair weather fans. You know, you always got to have something for people on a daily basis. They don't want to see progress. If they don't want to see progress, they're not fans. Those are bandwagon jumpers. Like, okay, right. I'm going to get off. I'm going to wait until you go shopping and get dressed. And then once you get dressed and look like a dime piece, then I'll come back and walk you into the party holding hands. That's not what Bearcat fans do. I mean, you take her when she get out of the shower, she looks good. But then when she ain't got no makeup on and all that stuff, that's who she is. That's what the Bearcats are. We don't have any makeup on right now. We're going to get dressed this offseason. We're going to get in shape. We're going to get our abs together. We're going to go out and build our roster. And we're going to come back out. Don't start posting Bearcat stuff now after you didn't kick the coach off the bench and called all the players that opted out quitters and talked about David DeJulius. That's not Bearcat fans. That's not.
Now that I always like, it was funny on Bearcat Country, you know, Friday and Saturday, everybody's like, oh, this is great. I'm so excited, blah, 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 blah. And then the Houston game comes and, well, they didn't even get any better. I'm like, people, Houston is about 10 to 12 deep. They've got fifth-year seniors. I said they were a legit Final Four team, and somebody told me I was crazy. I'm like, Houston's a legit Final Four team. I don't care what anybody says. That's a tough team to beat, and they didn't miss a freaking shot. Even when the Bearcats had good defense on them, they still made it. I mean, it just wasn't the Bearcats. Yeah, it just wasn't the Bearcats' day. I mean, Mike Saunders, God love him, he had a ball bounce off his head while he's out of bounds. I mean, that should tell you something right there. It just wasn't going to be our day yesterday.
Yeah, Houston is really, really good. And they've been building this culture for a long time. The teams that have veteran players are the teams that are in the top 5 right now. You don't have a team full of freshmen on any roster, on any level, that's in the top 5, top 10. You look at Duke, look at Louisville, you look at Kentucky. All the freshman-heavy teams have done poorly this year. Yeah. And many of them aren't in the tournament. It's the ones that didn't have an off season, but everybody knows what they were running anyway. So it's just like you pick up where you left off. You maybe add a piece, but the culture that was already there can take the pieces that you already had and implement them and sort of mentor them. Whereas if you had, like the Bearcats, an entire new roster other than a couple of players, then it's like there's no culture established. There's nothing. There's no older guys teaching the younger guys. There's none of that took place right now. So you had a bunch of guys learning on the fly. Everybody's trying to fight to see who's going to be the alpha, who's going to start, who's going to be the man. And in the process, they had to go through growing pains, and by the end of the season, man, I was proud of these guys.
Oh, the way they showed up in the tournament against SMU and Wichita State. I mean, if anybody wants to know what Brandon Ball looks like, that's Brandon Ball. The way they were moving the ball in and out, back and forth, drive to the hoop, kick it out. You know, their passing on those 2 games was phenomenal, and that's what the future holds, I think, for the Bearcats. Now, you may have had conversations off there before that, you know, the Bearcats hopefully will add a couple big guys and stuff in the transfer portal. And I've said this, I think it's going to be like the Wild Wild West with this transfer portal going on this year.
Well, COVID is a lot of people opted out. You have teams opt out, you have conferences opt out, and you had a bunch of players that opt out. But every year, the transfer portal grows regardless of COVID. I just think COVID is going to add to a lot of it because, you know, last year was 600 and plus opt-outs or transfer people that entered the portal. This year is predicted to be about 1,000. So you're going to have a bunch of good players. Not everybody in that transfer portal is going to be good. It's going to be about 200 to 300 players at the top of that portal from that 1,000 that are going to be high majors that everybody's going to be looking for. And so, you know, and they're going to look at a place like Cincinnati and they're going to see opportunity. They're going to see a style. They're going to see, you know, 3-point shooting. They're going to see rim protection, pressing, and somebody's going to be like, absolutely right, because we have enough tape now to put together some highlight reels and some packages for recruiting purposes for guys that are thinking about coming to say they're on TV a lot. You know, they play a style of ball that we love to play. The coach is not he's not calling us all out of our names and embarrassing us. He's just not that kind of person. I love the staff. Yeah, I'm going to come here. So when you have that, you got a bunch of guys that are, you know, we get a rim protector or 2, some beef down low, and some guards that are lengthy, and maybe somebody that can break down the shot. That could be 3, 4, 5 people. We got openings. So, but we got to get taller. We got to get more physical, and we got to get some playmakers out there to play.
Oh, you're on mute. Can you hear him, Jeremy?
Nope.
Ted, can't hear you, buddy.
You there?
Yep.
You
There you go. Now you're back.
Yep.
Now you're good.
Yeah, we got to get playmakers that can create for other people.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing that to me was most exciting about watching this tournament was the development of the freshmen. I mean, Davenport, he's been consistent all year, but I call him the blonde blur. Maybe I stole that from Dan Horde. Mike Saunders, he got so much better. When he first started at the beginning of the year, he was going so fast. He didn't know where he was going. He couldn't control the ball. He couldn't get in the offense. He was making plays, and the man was rebounding too. He was getting in there with the trees and getting the ball. I mean, that was to me, that's impressive right there to get your nose dirty in there and get that ball. And he's one of the smallest guys, but he's going to be good. Davenport's going to be good. Micah Adams Woods, he showed up. I mean, there's a lot of good freshmen and sophomores that we could build around. Matt Madsen, he's shooting the ball lights out. Hopefully his brother comes back because they say his brother's even better than he is.
I heard that too. And so both of them, can you imagine the chemistry of the penetrating pitch game with both those brothers?
Right.
Being knocked down. If one had to bring the ball up, when they like to play that small ball, imagine those two brothers with Davenport out there and Mike Saunders pushing the basketball or Julius, breaking guys down and kicking out. I just love the fact that he got guys, they're knockdown shooters that love to play the game, that love to share the ball. Now we'll see how it acts. We don't know what Chris Volt and Williams is going to do.
Right.
But I think they played a lot better and different when Williams was not on the floor and Volt was not on the floor.
Right. Yes.
When Mamadou or Tari was as a defensive, the only 5-man or 4-man in there with 4 guards, the post defense. The on the ball pick and roll coverage was better.
Yeah.
The recovery to the rim was better. With the zone, the guys closing out and getting around and fronting the post, that stuff was better. The shot selection was better. So a lot of things were better when they went with some of the younger guys that are going to be around next year. Not to say that Keith and Chris both didn't give us great times and great minutes. They did. We just looked totally different when they were out.
Yeah, and I have a question for you. And I don't know if you guys ever brought this up on the broadcast or not, but Mamadou didn't play the first 2 games. And then he played – I think he played really well yesterday. I was pleasantly surprised at how good he was playing. I don't know why he didn't get a shot, in the first 2 games.
He turns the ball over at a high rate, and he gets lost defensively a lot. So the reason that you say he played well is because he made a couple shots. And when he first got in, he would pump fake, guy would jump. Instead of finishing, he would try to slide over. And, so he missed some opportunities to finish down low. At the end, he made a couple threes that, made people look at his potential. And Mamadou has serious potential. Yeah. But there were too many times he would get lost defensively. And a turnover is not the same for a star player or a star potential and someone who has just been back and been on the roster for a while. For instance, Tari turned the ball over at a high clip. He's averaging like 4 turnovers in the last 6 games. Just incredible turnovers. And Mamadou had 4 turnovers in the last couple games. But Mamadou's not playing.
Right.
Because Mamadou is not, blocking shots, running the floor, getting dunks, rebounding at a high clip. And so it's all turnovers not the same. All people are not valued the same. But you also got to realize that what Mamadou brings is he never complained. He never was a cancer on the bench. I mean, there's guys that were 4-year players. If they had to sit on the bench behind a freshman, they're going to cause dissension. They're going to sow discord. They're going to yell at people.
They're going to opt out.
Behind the coach's back. They're going to opt out. Yeah, they're going to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
But Mamadou never did that. So high character for him.
Yeah, that I give him props for not saying anything because, I mean, it's his senior year, so it's hard to to not, you don't get to play and just to sit there and not say anything.
It was actually his junior year. He just graduated early because he redshirted. And what COVID is, I think he can transfer. And if he transferred, he still have 2 years to play because he's a junior. He graduated. Okay. He can go somewhere, and by the time he finished, he'll have his master's degree, which I think is the most important thing. So I would take advantage of that. Go somewhere where you can get some playing time. Maybe it's NKU, because his girlfriend and baby are at the University of Cincinnati. Maybe it's NKU. Maybe he goes somewhere where it's maybe a level down, but he can still play a lot of minutes and stay close to his family.
That's good. That's a good point. Now, good, Jeremy. I've been talking. You got some stuff to say. I know Jeremy's the Ohio State fan, so I know he's excited. His team's
I was
in the tournament.
do a little 360 on you here, Terry. I know you're all about the Bearcats, of course. Why wouldn't you be? You're one of the legends, man.
See, he's just warming you up. He's getting y'all lathered up.
I'm just saying. I mean, you're on the radio. You got it going on, man. I was wondering, do you keep up with the Buckeyes at all? And did you watch the Big Ten tournament? And what is your take on my Buckeyes going to the NCAA tournament? And how do you feel about how far maybe they could go if we can actually put a game together and close it out in the end?
Never seen them play this year.
Oh!
Did not see them play this year. I don't really have an interest in Ohio State basketball. Just doesn't turn me on. I've seen 2 Xavier games this year.
Oh, well, okay. I don't feel as bad now.
Conference. Yeah, I watch our conference. I watch our team. And but no, I haven't watched Ohio State. I know they beat some good teams in conference. I know I know they beat Michigan. So I mean, we'll see.
All right. I figured I'd ask one of the main guys in college basketball about it, but I guess you're not just a Buckeye guy, so I'll leave it alone.
No, this year has been kind of unusual. So because of the hats that I've had with my family driving back and forth, with real estate, with basketball, with my kids, with all the stuff that's going on, like my spare time, I'm not sitting and watching another basketball game. I may sit and doze off with a glass of wine watching Netflix on the couch. But the last thing I want to do after a day full of media and basketball is come home and watch my basketball.
Yeah.
That's why I appreciate you carving some time out for me, Terry, because I know you're a busy guy. But Jeremy, part of punctuation's got a question for you. What is a Buckeye?
It's a worthless nut, all right? If you don't know that by now, don't be asking the question. Get out of here with that.
Right. Worthless nut. They wouldn't tell you that at Miami Valley Gaming, though.
No.
Lucky Buckeye.
Look at lucky Buckeye.
That's right, lucky.
Yep. Oh my goodness.
Right.
Dogs on here giving us crap about Georgia beating UC earlier in the year.
Yeah. They beat them down too. That's when they didn't know what they really were. The score was, only 15 at the end, but it was like in the 20s, and they just made a little rally to make it look respectable. But at the time, Cincinnati just was not there. One of the things that we had was a lack of quality depth at the big man position.
Yes.
Because
all year,
Chris Vogt gets in foul trouble. You're putting Tari, who's a 3, playing the 4 and the 5, and Tari doesn't know how to play defense yet. He can block shots and rebound, but he would have been more effective if he knew how to play defense.
Right.
He doesn't know how to play defense. So he gambles every time the ball comes to the post when he's guarding it. He sits behind the block, behind the post player, doesn't know how to quarter turn, doesn't know how to reach shoulders, doesn't know how the anticipation. I mean, there's so much to be a post defender. And I think just being able to have a mentor as a post defender. Normally, when we're on the road, I would take those guys when we go to shoot around and we go to practice, and I would work on some of the big. I did that with Nasir Brooks, Kyle Washington, and work on some low post defense, how to reach shoulders, how to play low. Couldn't do that this year, so coming out on the road with them for one, and then we couldn't come to practice this year. So hopefully, this offseason, I get a chance to work with them.
Yeah, people don't know this or not that you and Dan Horde did all the which is kind of hard to do play-by-play when you're not even in the arena. I don't know how in the world you guys are able to do it, because there's stuff that happened and you guys you're watching it on TV and giving your opinion. You're not in the arena. It's that had to be difficult in itself just to do that this year.
Yeah, watching a game from a screen is totally different. There's no atmosphere behind you. There's no people walking around. There's no timeout looking at the huddle. It's like I've memorized more commercials, lip reading more commercials, calling games than I have in a long time. I mean, it was a weird feeling, but hanging with Dan, doing games with Dan is like one of the best feelings you can ever have as a broadcaster, because he's so knowledgeable. He can take what I say, take some of the stuff he studied, package it, throw it back at me, and he's just like a great point guard. Like I get a rebound, I give it to him. He waits till I get in finishing position, and he gets it right back to me. So I love that.
Yeah, you guys do a great job. I enjoy listening to you guys a lot. Now, Pardon the Punctuation's got a very important question here for you, Terry. They want to know, what kind of wine do you drink?
I love Merlot. I love Cabs. I'll tell you something. My favorite wine is Apothic, the entire brand. I like Apothic Red, Apothic Cab. I like the Apothic Inferno. See, most red wine is 13.5% alcohol, and it's a smooth taste.
Yeah.
I like red, but Apothic Inferno is 15.5, and it's because it's barrel bourbon aged. So you put it in the barrel bourbon, and some of that stuff comes out. And so,
get the good
so
stuff.
it may be, so after the coaching show tonight, it may be a glass or 3-4 tonight.
Hey, Terry, what now since he brought up the wine, you said you like to drink wine and watch some Netflix. What are you watching on Netflix, man? What's Terry Nelson watching on Netflix when he's sipping on some wine?
So my latest thing right now, of course, I had to get it from Nick Van Exel. We're in our chat thread. We talk every day like little girls. So he's like, hey man, he's like, hey, have you guys seen Last Chance U? And so if you haven't seen Last Chance U, it's about a junior college team, and this is their last chance. The players that go there, they get kicked out of one school and didn't make the grades in this school, and so it's a coach that's really riding them hard, really pushing them to be the best. It's raw, it's uncut. They use the N-word a lot. They curse a lot. They curse at the coach a lot. But the coach is a man of faith. He is undeterred. He's going to push them. He's got to get them 12 scholarships. And so his whole job is, I don't care if you like me or not. My job is to get you some scholarships. I'm going to make sure all you guys, I'm not going to quit on you. You just don't quit on me. And I'm going to push you and ride you. So I love it because, myself, Corey, Nick, Eric Martin, we all came from junior college.
Right.
And so we're sitting over here, and I'm over here before you called. I was just watching the episode. Eyes were tears, man. I'm like ready to go.
Yeah?
I'm like, okay, I gotta get this together. We're about to go.
I'm ready to go show that, man.
It stirs up so much emotion because it's raw, it's real. It's like it's not a script. It's like that. There's reality TV and then there's actuality TV, and this is the actuality TV. It's not scripted. You wouldn't script all the words they use in that, the mics that they have. I mean, it's real and raw. You got selfish players. It's like if you can write a perfect script, this would be it, because every team has one guy that thinks he's just better than everybody in the gym, and the ball should always come to his hands. And if he's got to pass it, or if the coach is sitting him on the bench because of rotation purposes or whatever, the coach is tripping. The coach don't know what he's doing. I can't stand this, MF. Can't wait to get out of here. Like all this stuff. So you hear it all the time. That's what I love. That's what I'm watching.
Dude, it sounded like Bearcat country over the last year here with the Bearcat baseball.
Yeah.
That's what I've been saying.
Right.
But we got a first timer. I want to say what's up to Timothy Hacker. He said he's a first timer. So welcome to the show, man. Welcome to the broadcast. We appreciate you. So I guess that's pretty much all I got for you today, Terry. I know people are dying for us to get to talk about the Bengals. So I don't know what we're going to talk about because they haven't done anything, but I appreciate you coming on. You go back to watching your show.
Brother.
Try not to tear up too much.
I got a good hour of sleep before I hit the coach's show tonight at 8 o'clock. So
yeah, there you go, bro. I will be listening. Definitely will be listening.
I'm low energy right now. I'm kind of in detox mode because we don't have another game to prepare for. So
right. Yeah, exactly. It's like now that's what's weird. It's like it's been a while since we haven't been in the tournament. This is normally we kind of get like this after we lose, but we didn't even get in it. So and no NIT, but it is what it is, man. It was a tough year. I'm very excited about the freshmen and the path that we're going, and I can't wait to see what Brandon does from here on out.
Me too, brother. And thanks for having me on. It was always good being with you, bro. Both of you guys.
No problem. Thanks, Terry.
Right.
Take it easy, brother.
Thanks, Terry.
All right, see you.
All right, that was cool because I know people want to get talking about the Bengals because I know my phone has been blowing up all day. What are they going to do? What's the Bengals going to? I'm like, I don't know. Oh, Tooney's gone. Like, oh my goodness, yes, I know. Yeah. Tooney's gone. I know. But the thing is, I want to bring that up. Tooney signed a 5-year, $80 million contract. That's a hell of a lot of money to pay for a guard. I know he's probably the best guard in free agency, but I would pay Trent Williams that, and he's a tackle. That's tackle money. So everybody needs to calm down. I mean, I know I said this on our show last couple weeks. I said, look, we might not get Tooney. I mean, the Bengals might not get him because we all want them to be smart with their money. Paying $80 million for a guard to me is not smart with their money. I think there's other guards out there. And the thing is, look, if they sign a tackle and you draft Sewell, you kick Jonah the guard, and there you go. And who knows? Maybe the Bengals are happy with Spain and Surfield, which, I mean, honestly, I don't think they played that bad. I would like to get a guard. I'm not saying we don't need one, but that might be the route we go. And at least you still got to draft. They could draft Wyatt Davis in the second round. There's still time. Relax. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Yeah. I mean, he's one of the best guards in the nation, and a guard spot is a big body pushing against another body. It's not like the tackle spot where you have to have a ton of athleticism, and because Thuney, who they've been running down our throats for the past 3 months, everybody, all of the outlets just about, he's gone. $80 million, that's not for us. Zeitler's gone. Whatever. pass rusher out of the Ravens, Judon. He's gone. AJ Green's talking with the Raiders. Most likely he's gone. We already knew that. But at the end of the day, we're not going to get everybody we want. We were kind of brainwashed into the whole Thuney thing. But, man, if we can end up getting just, you know what, maybe a guard and a tackle, I would be happy. But it brings me back to my whole point with Brandon Allen. Here we are. It's the first this week. Oh, no, it's just I've just by reading posts.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first of the week, and we have other teams have signed these guys, agreed to deals with these guys at least till Wednesday, and the Bengals haven't agreed to nothing with anybody other than Brandon Allen. And I understand all the posts that I've read where it may leave a sour taste in your mouth, because it kind of does mine too in a way. I really hope Burrow never gets hurt again and we don't have to worry about the backup. But I knew we would see this coming, if you know what I'm saying, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, as far as Houday Nation blowing up, is that what you're talking? Sorry, I was looking at Twitter while you're talking.
Yeah, just about all the groups that I can't look at all of them. Every now and again, they'll pop up on my timeline or whatever. But yeah, I could see it happening, and it has.
I mean, the thing is, Zeitler and Thuney both are old. I mean, they're still good. I mean, they're not bad.
They're up there,
guards, but they are older guards. So I mean, it just comes down for me is you got to be. The Bengals said they're going to be smart, and they've said that. And to be $80 million for one player is not smart. When look, the Bengals, this is what they need. They need a guard, they need a tackle, they need an edge rusher, and they need a deep threat. They're not getting all of those in free agency. And if you thought they were, well, you were just fooling yourself, because they had the draft. That's why they have the draft, so we can add to what we don't get. And that's why I keep saying, when people ask me, well, what do you want them to do with the number 5 pick? I said, it depends on what they do in free agency. And that, translates to the draft. So that's where we're at right now. We're all waiting as patiently as we can. I had a guy on Twitter tweet me, I've been a Bengals fan for 40 years. This is the same thing they've done all the time. Like, dude, I've been a Bengals fan for 46 years. So I hear you, but they never came out and talked about signing free agents, let alone signing them. And last year, we didn't sign Von Bell till pretty late. So, I mean, just because we don't get the guys at first doesn't mean we're not going to do anything.
Yeah, and it's going to come down to cornerback as well. We're going to have to either re-sign WJ3 or bring in somebody. So that's even more money it's got to be taken care of, because if we're going to get some sort of a pass rush in free agency and in the draft, we're going to have some decent cornerbacks. I don't want to see Trey Waynes opposite LaShawn Sims, like, for the life of me.
Right. Tommy's got a good point here. He says, and this is true. He said, one thing we forget often is that the Bengals don't have leaks like other teams. They keep it private, so we don't really know what the front office has cooking. And he's exactly, I mean, none of us knew they were going to sign any free agents last year. Nobody did. So, I mean, they are very, very good at keeping everything quiet. And if you guys saw Bengal Jim's show last night, Elizabeth Blackburn was on there. And that was an awesome show. She's very excited about working for the Bengals and the future that we have. Not, she didn't break any news saying, who we're going to sign or any of this stuff, but she was very positive about what the Bengals are doing. And that's what I think all Bengals fans need to realize. You got to just stay positive and see what the outcome is. Like Nick says, we didn't sign anyone on day one last year.
And, if we bring in a bunch of good players, maybe next year we'll bring in a bunch of good coaches. That's kind of hopefully,
Jeremy. We have Armadillo.
Yeah, exactly. I hope we rock it out. This year. I hope we get. I don't care about big names. If they're good players, that's all I care. If they're better by 2 times than Bobby Hart, I'll be happy.
Dude, I've said this before. I don't care who they sign, as long as it's the right people and as long as it makes the Bengals better. Whatever they do, I want them to make the Bengals better. I don't care who it is. I really, really don't. As long as it makes them better and it gets us to a Super Bowl eventually. That's all I care about.
Yeah, and it's hard not to sign anybody in the league that's worse than Fun Bobby. I mean, literally, you can't go wrong, though. If you think about it, on our offensive line where you have Fun Bobby, you have Fred Johnson, you have Redmond, which we may have gotten rid of him again after he came back. I don't know. You got Billy Price, and did I say Michael Jordan? I think already, probably. You know, it's not that hard to get some upgraded talent at those positions, whether it be free agency or the draft. I don't think.
Yeah, Sean here says too many fans want to go for the quick, shiny thing. They also don't think about who we will have to worry about re-signing in the next 3 years, 2 to 3 years. Give me a handful of strong upgrades versus one big splash. And that's the thing is the offensive line, we have Joe freaking Burrow. We don't have to have a great offensive line. I would love to have a great offensive line, but you don't have to have a great offensive line. If we get an average one, I think Burrow is going to make a big difference. You know?
That's how I feel because our line was that bad last year. They were that bad. So we can't make a wrong move.
Yeah. And Tommy's back on it. Pollock has a lot to say about the linemen they get to. There's still 3 guys out there that have played for Pollock, and they all were good. We're good in lines. Or we're good. We're in good lines. I'll get it right. Well, like I said, I don't know about you. I think both of us keep looking at the phone.
Yeah.
if we see anything that
I know.
we can say here, but I haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah, there's just nothing there, man.
Yeah. Which like I said, I mean, I would honestly be surprised if they signed anybody today. I really would. Because like I said, that's not the Bengals. I mean, I said they're changing, which they are changing, but them to go out and sign somebody the first day would be a big change, you know, especially $80 million for a guard. I keep going back to that. And I'm just like, okay, Joe, you got $80 million. I'd sign it too. I really want to play for the Bengals, but $80 million.
Yeah. When we do the show on Wednesday, if we don't have any sort of inkling on any signings at all, I will start to get worried myself.
I might get a little nervous then. Yeah. Because
but as of now, I'm okay. There's a lot of guys still out there, and like you said, they're not talking about it much. They keep it in house, so you never know.
Yeah, Nick says that at the end of the day, a great line is not built only in the draft or free agency. Need to use a combo of both. Can't lean on one too much. Exactly. And the thing is too is the Bengals also, like, I can't remember, somebody else said it in the chat. I popped it up that we have to worry about, players down the line. We got to sign. Oh, geez, why is he slipping my name? Our safety.
You talking about Bates?
Yeah, we got Jesse Bates. We need to get him signed to extension too, or we're going to run into the same problem we've had with Lawson. And that's the thing too. Everybody's freaking out about the offensive line. Lawson's still out there. He hasn't signed anybody yet. And if you guys listen to the interview he did on The Athletic, he seemed, to me, I took it as a positive that he was pretty positive he was going to come back to the Bengals.
I kind of got it that way too, but it could also be let me say the nice things about the Bengals before I leave type thing too. So I don't know. I don't know. I hope.
Well, the biggest thing, did you listen to the podcast?
Yeah.
I was on their podcast on here the Proud Colin or something like that. I don't remember what the name of it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was, if you listen to him talk,
I mean,
he was saying we. When somebody says we, he's including himself. So he said we have to protect number 9 first.
Yeah.
So, he knows how the game's played. All right, Tommy says the other issue is that people don't follow the offensive line like other positions. There's a few stats, and those guys don't get recognition. So if a lineman isn't talked about in the media, people consider them bad. Well, actually, Mark Schlereth has said this before. He goes, the only time an offensive lineman is ever mentioned It's usually for holding or doing something dumb. Other than that, they don't say anything about the offensive line. So it's frustrating. I know we're all excited. We all wanted to sign somebody like day one, but I really didn't think they were going to. And I really didn't think Tuna was going to get $80 million.
I didn't either. That blew my mind. A guy I had in the back of my mind as of somebody that might be able to replace Lawson if we did get rid of him was that Judon from the Ravens. I love that guy, and he's gone now. So really,
they're talking about that guy from the Saints too. That he could be a another replacement.
Yeah,
too,
that
right?
was the last. Yeah, that was the last post I had put out. Carl Lawson, Trey Hendrickson. He's a pass rusher, I guess you could say. He's on the line. What I liked about Judon though is he was kind of like a Lawson-like type player. He kind of played off the line a little bit and would blitz or be there for the run, kind of like what they have Lawson doing when they're not putting him in prevent defense and he's not on the goal line of the other side of the field. So, there's a few of those guys gone. I don't know if they want to go into the draft and take care of Lawson if we don't sign him. But at this point, like they said, he is our only pass rush as of now. No hate to Mike Daniels, DJ Reader. DJ's never really been a big-time sack artist,
Hubbard.
but he's a run stuffer, So
Hubbard's the other one we got.
And Hubbard, yeah. He's our second best, I guess. And do we roll with him again, or do we switch him up? I don't know. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to find out.
Yeah, Sean says, how intriguing would it be to look at Mitchell Schwartz from KC? He was injured last year, but still graded out in the mid-70s. That's a pretty decent upgrade for right tackle. Yeah, both the guys, him and Fisher.
Yeah,
they both. Now I heard Schwartz actually might retire. I don't know if that's true or not, but I mean, those are two guys I know. The one guy's, Schwartz is coming off an injury, but that's an option. And I would, at first, people are like, "Oh, we need to go get these Kansas City guys." I'm like, why would you want to go get an injured guy and a guy who might retire? Which I think the guy who might retire is the same person as the injured guy. But now that we've got into this, and Zeitler's gone and Thuney's gone, you have to start looking into it. I mean, I think the Bengals have put their probes out everywhere to see what they got and what they can get. And it ain't over yet. Hopefully, like you said, hopefully by Wednesday we'll definitely have some. Hopefully by tomorrow we'll have something.
Yeah, I hope so, man, because it's just there's only so much you can take as a Bengal fan looking at some of these posts from other Bengal fans. Flipping out, dude, just flipping out. And you know what? Hopefully we get to where we need to be. You know what? We're going to get there. It's just it might not be pretty, might not be what people like, but at the end of the day, I believe Tommy mentioned it. So did you. If it upgrades this team, keeps Burrow safe,
right?
And we're able to get some tools for Burrow on top of it. Let's roll. I'm not worried about a name on the back of a jersey. Just play.
No, exactly. Like Nick said here, according to Josina Anderson of ESPN, Bengals are entering the conversation for Saints defensive end Terry Hendrickson.
Trey Hendrickson.
I get it right. Man, look, people, I know the guy's names. I just can't freaking read sometimes. So I apologize for that.
It's the same guy we were talking about.
Right.
That
exactly.
the Bengals might replace Lawson with if we don't get him.
Yeah, Natty, we agree with you, Natty. That's exactly they didn't sign anybody till the second day last year. So I'm not worried. And like I said, I'll keep saying this. $80 million for a guard is ridiculous, especially when we have so many other needs. If all we needed was a guard and we used the rest of it for draft, fine.
Oh.
Go get the best guard. But we got other stuff, other fish to fry. So
I could guarantee if Lawson was under contract, WJ3 was under contract, few of these other, actually just them two other than AJ, he's gone. Oh, I could see us really going after him if that's all we needed, like you were saying, Jeff. But
Yeah.
it's not, sadly. We need more.
Right. Yeah. Sadly, we need more. Henderson is a bit of a one-year wonder, but super intriguing player, high motor. I mean, I don't know if this is. I'm trying to think. I know who Hendrickson is, but is there a possibility that he signed Lawson and Hendrickson?
It's going to depend on what he thinks he's worth. You know how that goes.
Yeah, exactly. I was right here. The chat is dang on it. The chat is blowing up. So I click it on one and let's see here. Only 6 sacks in 3 seasons, 12 last season. I think downgrade to Lawson. The thing is, Lawson hasn't got. I mean, he's got what 5.5 last year. So I mean, and the thing is, the reason Lawson is so highly rated is Pro Football Focus came out with this thing where he created sacks. But you and me were like, I want a guy who actually gets sacks. But he had. I saw something on NFL Network. I wish I could remember what it was of how many times he actually hit the quarterback. I mean, he hit him, just didn't get him down.
And we're talking about Henderson having 12 sacks last year. That's probably almost as many sacks as Lawson's had in his career. I mean, if you add the other ones to it, so
like Nick said last time I checked, 12 is more than 5.5. Yeah,
I'm kind of with Nick on that.
Yeah, I'm kind of. I mean, like I said, I am not downgrading Lawson. I mean, I like Lawson. I want them to sign him, but this is what I've been saying this whole time. He's to me, okay. I think he's got a chance of blowing up and being even better. I think he's getting into his prime. So that's one of the reasons I don't want to lose him. But if you go based on his stats, he's not top 5. He's not. I mean, he's just not. But I mean, it depends on. But none of that really matters. It depends on what a team is going to pay. If like Kansas City's going to, they outbid everybody for Tooney. Nobody was going to give Tooney $80 million except them.
No.
So. The market, it changes. It depends on if one team just wants to go out and outspend everybody. It's the way it is. And the Bengals are like, all right, we'll move on to somebody else.
Yep. That's exactly right, man.
Get Low is in the house. What's up, Get Low?
Get Low.
Get low. Long time no talk, brother.
Yeah, man, long time. You need to jump on, brother.
All right, he says, we have to remember Lawson was not the main man till Dunlap left. Exactly. Yes, that is true. I mean, Lawson was only a third down. You use him on third downs a lot. Well, he's a third down rusher.
Yeah, they switched him to that because they thought it would help his sack total. But, well, he got to the quarterback. Let's just put it that way, I guess.
Yeah. What else you got, Jeremy? Anything good? Anything on Twitter?
Dude, no, I don't have anything. I got a little bit of, if anybody didn't watch the Buckeye game yesterday, I got some Buckeye stuff, but that's about it. That game's over. And
you can talk about your Buckeye since Terry Nelson shut you down when you tried to bring it up before, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, right? You don't know nothing about the Buckeyes.
Go ahead, give us some information because I mean, for Ohio, actually this whole area, the only teams that are in the tournament is Ohio State and Ohio U.
Well, we beat Minnesota and Purdue, got to the finals. We lost 88-91 to Illinois. Illinois is 2-1 against us this year. We played a great game. We had the game won. Gave it up at the end. And fact of the matter is, we were even pretty decent. We only had 8 turnovers. But here's the deal. We shot 8 of 25 from 3-point shot. Dwayne Washington Jr., Kobe Bryant's nephew, everybody knows, he's got a little bit of that in him. I think he tries to do it a little bit overboard. And you're shooting 30% from 3-point range. You're not going to win. They shot 43%. Total rebounds, they out-rebounded us offensively, defensively. It was a bad game. It was a game we should have won. but we let them come back, went into overtime, and then we let them off the hook. It's okay. Buckeyes are still a number 2 seed in the tournament, and I believe we are playing Old Dominion or Old. I actually didn't even look it up, but it's one of those type of teams in the first round of the tournament. Hopefully we blaze on, can get over this loss. That was a bad loss to take. We could have been a number 1 seed. We let it go. Is what it is. Go Bucks.
You sound so thrilled, dude. You're like, go Bucks.
It's
dude, you're in the tournament. Come on, be happy.
Yeah, I'll be happy.
People, this is what I've been dealing with Jeremy all day. Bengals haven't done anything, man. We gotta get some irons in the fire. I don't know what we're gonna do. I'm like, dude.
Well, that's the truth.
Relax.
That's the truth.
I haven't done this before, but I think where's this from? Who Day Nation? Yeah, Who Day Nation. Let me get back to it here. I gotta give a shout out to Anthony Clark for backing me up. If you're watching the show, I just posted. I said, in my opinion, that's too much money to pay a guard. Talking about Tooney, which I've been saying on my show here, and then
right.
Mike Conley Jr., whoever this is, Jeff Tremble, tell that to Joe Burrow's knees. Okay, there's other guards, dude. And then Anthony Clark comes in. He's got my back. He says, you're 100% right. And that's why I'm a fan of your show. Our fan base is forgetting that we need to fill the possibility of 3 holes on our offensive line. Not to mention, they also have to spend money on the defensive side of the ball. At least they made an effort for 3 years, $60 million. I know they offered 3 years, $60 million. That's pretty good. But they want 80. I mean, come on, people. Let's see here. There are still serviceable guards left on the market. Anthony, if you're watching the show, dude, brother, I appreciate you. But yeah, I could have said it any better than what you just said.
Nope.
They offered him 60. All right. If it's you guys, now look, I'm a huge Bengal fan. I would love to have been an NFL player, and I would love to play for the Bengals. But if somebody's offered me $80 million freaking dollars, I'll go there and play.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Bengals are not cheap, but not overspending, and that's what we keep saying they have to do is be smart with their money, and that's what I still think they're doing. I just got to talk Jeremy off the ledge here because he's been all depressed.
I'm with you. Even in a when you're talking about a guard situation, no. I was thinking that kind of money towards Trent Williams.
I pay $80 million for Trent Williams all day long. He's a left tackle. He's the best left tackle in free agency. Do it. Your tackle is fixed. You're fixed.
Exactly, man. I mean,
if you do that, then you can draft Jamar Chase. You can go get Wyatt Davis in the second round or another guard in the second round.
Yeah.
Offensive line's fixed, people. If they do that, I'm not saying they're going to, but
a guard is a big man that sometimes pulls, has to run a little bit, but mainly is just mano a mano on his guy and overpowering him. And $80 million. No, that's tackle money. That's guys.
Tackle. Yes, that's tackle money. I mean, we were talking like James Rapine said he was talking about Trent Williams getting $20 million, just like Gillo's saying here. They paid him $80. That's got to be the highest. I don't know for a fact, but that's got to be the highest contract for a guard ever.
If we offered him 60, I don't see a reason why. If we're talking to Trent Williams now, I don't see a reason why he would say no. Well, after he saw that, he might say no, but we could offer him $80 million. I'd be happy with that and sign him to a decent, 4-year contract, whatever. And we'd take care of our tackle need right off the bat. And we could, like you said, draft Wyatt Davis second round, Chase Young first round, have the offensive line figured out with Suafilo, with Spain, guys behind them. Sky's the limit.
Yeah. And the thing is too, and Tommy kind of brought this up on his comment earlier, that these guys are spending all this money on these free agents. Well, they probably still have to cut some other guys later on down the line to get under the salary cap. So there's still going to be more guys cut. It's not over. Just because we didn't do anything in the first 5 hours doesn't mean that it's over. And there's lots of guys that they can sign. How many did we sign last year? We signed 5. Who was it? It was Bell, Reeder, Waynes. Who else did we sign?
Alexander.
One to 5? It was 4.
Bynes.
Yes, Bynes. That's the 5th. We signed 5 guys last year. 5 people. There's time.
Yep.
We can do it. I mean, not a lot. I'm not saying they got to start getting in the game here soon, but we can do it.
Yeah. Within a couple days would be nice.
Well, it'll be a couple days. It'd be nice though. I could just go, see, I told you.
Yeah.
And I'm not on the show to tell you, see, I told you. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It happens.
I'd just like to sleep tonight. That's all.
That's what they have alcohol for, Jeremy.
Well, that don't help all the time. This is the Bengals. They're a little stronger than alcohol.
The struggle is real, Jeremy. The struggle is real.
It's real.
I see, Brad. He said that no, it's not. Look, Brad. They offer, from what I've read, they offered him $60 million. $60 million is not a low ball offer. Compared to $80 million, sure. But who in the right mind is going to pay $80 million for a guard? The only thing Kansas City needed really is a guard. They need 2 guys, a guard and a tackle.
That's why.
That's why they spent a ton of money to go get it. So, no, as far as I know, they didn't. I know people are like, oh, the Bengals lowballed them. As far as I know, they didn't lowball them. But $80 million, dude, look, if it's you, Brad, you're going to take $80 million or you're going to take 60. I go take $80 million and go play in Canada somewhere. If that's what they paid me.
Yeah, and my thing about it is I was surprised we offered him $60 million. I mean, in all honesty, we're the Bengals. We're cheap. We offered $20 million less on a contract than one team that only needed one thing did. That's pretty impressive because we have a lot of spots that need taken care of. And to offer him $60 million as a guard, as somebody that's just standing there.
I don't know if that's confirmed or not. That's stuff I'm reading. We'll see.
Yeah, I've read it. I've read it.
It'll probably never be confirmed. I mean,
you could put you could put Munoz on the back of his jersey, and $80 million is a ton of money for a guard.
Yeah,
it really is.
$80 million is a ton of money for a tackle.
I'm not trying to stand up for Mike Brown. I know everybody. Oh, Mike Brown. No. I think he can be cheap. He has been in the past. I don't think he is right now. But I also would never pay $80 million for a guard, no matter what his last name was.
Right. All right. Brad says, question is, what do we do now at offensive line? Because I think the Jets are going to draft Sewell. Well, we have to wait and see. Like I said, there's still, like we've been talking this whole show, there's still guys out. Like I said, Trent Williams, as far as I know, I keep looking at Twitter and Facebook, and so unless he's got signed since we've been on the air, he's still out there.
Yep.
And it's awful quiet. You're not hearing. That's one thing I'm kind of like. You're not hearing anything. Nobody's saying anything about Trent Williams, and he's the best tackle out there. So it's awful quiet. And
but
go ahead.
I was just saying, but we are seeing Bengals on Twitter like Joe Mixon, doing the big eyes and the smiley emojis and all that kind of stuff. Like he knows something we don't know. So you got that, and you got all the, like you said, the silence around Cincinnati. So I think, trust me, if anybody knows Sewell's going to be gone by the 5th pick, it's the Bengals.
There's been so many. I've heard, like I said, the 2 teams that I'm the most worried about for Sewell or Chase, because if we fix the offensive line, I want Chase. But the 2 teams that I'm worried about, those 2 guys getting past, is the Jets and Miami. Because I've heard both ways that both teams Miami's going to take Sewell, the Jets are going to take Chase, and vice versa. And dude, we're not going to know until the draft. I mean, that's why, to me, if we can go out and we can solidify our offensive line now and also get another deep threat in free agency, because you can get it like, how much? What was it? Samuel? He's still out there, right? Isn't that who we were talking about before?
Yeah, actually, it was. It came out that we signed him today, but
that was it. Also came out we signed Tooney too, but that was wrong.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, it just doesn't. at the end of the day, it doesn't. The Bengals know what's going to happen in the draft. They know where we're going to be picking. There's still plenty of players out there. There's no reason why we can't still solidify our offensive line and get a good, have a good draft, and not have to worry about it. We get too worried about this stuff. Let's let the Bengals do what they're supposed to do, and then if they trash it, we'll trash them.
We need patience. Nobody has patience. And look, I know the Bengals have never won a Super Bowl. They've won, and it's been a long time since we won a playoff game. We're all chomping at the bit, and and I understand everybody's passionate about this team. That's why you get so pissed off about it. Trust me, I understand, but I'm trying to get the negativity down because it's not over. It's a couple hours into it. Just relax. And like Josh says here, nobody knows who will be the fifth. Who will be at fifth at this point. We do know likely that there will be at least 2 quarterbacks in the top 4. That's the other. I mean, I think there could be 3 gone.
I heard the Dolphins may want to get rid of Tua, or they're not sold on Tua.
I've heard the Dolphins aren't sold on him. I mean, the Jets they're coming out now and they're saying they're good on Darnold, but they weren't before. Yeah. And I got to keep saying to everybody, the new way to win a Super Bowl is what the Bengals have right now. Get that nice, cheap, young quarterback. You build around him, and you're going to win a Super Bowl pretty easy. That's what everybody wants. And everybody in front of us really doesn't have a bona fide quarterback. I mean, you got Matty Ice, he's on the downhill. Tua hasn't proven anything yet. Everybody else needs a quarterback. So they might take all 4 of them. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. I've said that.
I can see Chase being there very easily. Even Sewell being there very easily. And us being able to pick which one is our greatest need, because they're both up there in talent. They're both top tier talent. So if we can fix our line and Chase is there, we got a top tier talent at wide receiver, and it's going to be like you were talking about with Chad Johnson, Houshmandzadeh, Chris Henry. Yeah. That's what it's going to be like if we can fix our O-line now, soon, this week.
Fix the O-line. And again, deep threat. It doesn't have to be Chase. It just has to be a deep threat. We got Chris Henry in the 3rd round. You can get a deep threat in the 3rd round. You can pick up one in free agent. We just need to get a deep threat. That has to happen this year. That helps out Joe Burrow. Kurt Warner was talking about this on the NFL Network of how Joe Burrow thrives in open sets. The only way you get an open set and it works, you got to have a burner. You got to have somebody to take the top off the offense. I think they're going to get that. And you get that, and you get like I said, you get a decent offense line. It ain't got to be a great one. You always want to keep improving, and it takes a while to get to a Super Bowl team. There's a lot of moving parts and a lot of talented people you have to have on the same team for that to happen. But just for this year, if we can get a decent offense line and we can do a lot of open sets, Joe Burrow is going to destroy the NFL.
I'm with you 110%. He comes back healthy, line fixed, a little bit more on defense, a little more pass rush. Hey, sky's the limit, man. Wide receivers, we got a running back. We've got our tight end, as far as I'm concerned. And I noticed the one everybody wanted, that Judon Smith from the Titans. He went somewhere. Junon Smith.
I can't remember who he signed with. But one thing about you bring up Joe Burrow. Bengal Jim tweeted out today that he saw Joe Burrow walking into PBS like he owned a place. No limp. No, nothing. He's going to be back game 1, Jeremy.
I hope so.
Back game 1. Did you just knock your microphone over?
I sure did.
Oh, my goodness.
I was trying to play it off cool. I was excited, man.
I think that means we need to roll on out of here. Jeremy's knocking his microphones over. He's getting all discombobulated and everything. Like, geez, what am I going to do with this guy?
I'll throw it out the freaking window.
Oh, good God. So, Bengals Nation, Houday Nation, keep your head up. It ain't over yet. That brings me to the Facebook groups that let me live stream on their Facebook page. And if you're watching it on any of the Facebook groups, do me a favor. go to the YouTube channel. Please subscribe to Sports with Strawberry Ice. But shout out to Who Dey Nation, Cincinnati Reds, rounding third, heading for home, Bearcat Country, Ohio State Bucknuts. I think we're on Bengals Nation as well. So a couple different Bengals groups. I'll be pulling the sound off later. So if you missed any of the show or you can't watch us for an hour and you just want to listen to us, I got it on podcast. I'll be on BeanPod, Apple Podcast, iTunes, Spotify, pretty much wherever you get your podcasts. Rate, like, review. Give me a 5-star review. I would greatly appreciate it. Follow me on Facebook under Sports with Strawberry Ice. I have 695 likes. Now I have, dude, this is blowing up. I got 739 people follow me. Can you believe 739 people care what I have to say? I think that's kind of cool. Or some of them just want to make fun of me.
I can't.
Yeah, no. You're Jeremy, you're one of them. You follow me too.
Oh.
Well, you did. You got in Facebook jail. Which, hey, everybody, what? 5 more days? 3 more days?
No. How about as soon as this show's over, bro?
Woo! Jeremy Dimebag Dean will be out of Facebook jail.
Out of it.
And he can start posting some stuff and quit sending it to me to post all the time.
Exactly. See how it works? It's good to have friends.
There you go. I'm also on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Make sure you follow us there. All those are under Sports with Strawberry Ice. YouTubers, we had a really good weekend. I appreciate you guys. We're at 856 subscribers. That is awesome. Let's keep it rolling. Try to get to 1,000. Other than that, Jeremy Dimebag Dean, you help us roll on out of here.
Sure will, man. And that's awesome. I didn't even know that number until you just said it. So that's cool that many people have liked the page.
Seriously, you don't pay attention to stuff I text you on the weekend. I see how you are. Whatever.
I can't get on to stuff. I can now.
I text it to you.
Well, I see it, but it's nice to see the page and the actual number, not just a little.
Jeremy,
what you send me, Jeff. Look, so I don't like to look at midgets, okay, tossing their kids in the pool. That isn't my thing, okay?
You're
that's not funny.
Keep that secret.
Well, just saying.
Will you get us out of here already?
Honestly, you know what? All the Bearcat fans watching, Buckeye fans watching, Bengals. Hey, YouTube Sports with Strawberry Ice notification. Click on it. Make sure you guys get the little beep every time we come on. Beep. Subscribe. Be part of us. We have a good time. We have a lot of killer guests, which Jeff has done a killer job at. And look, if you're a Bengal fan and you're watching this, you're getting free Bengal information, not only entertainment, but real information. So remember that and tell your friends.
Exactly. Now, hey, real quick before you do the ending. Tomorrow, I'm going to try to do some Blue Jackets conversation. I have the guy who runs Union Soldiers. He's going to be on for a little while so we can talk some hockey. Jeremy is excited as all can be about some hockey talk.
Yeah. Yes, I am.
And then Zim Huday from the Orange and Black is a new podcast, or Orange is the New Black podcast, will be on Thursday. So hopefully he'll be on and we all can talk about the free agents that the Bengals signed and have just a freaking party in here. But that's coming up this week.
Yes. And now I am looking forward to that. Now, if you guys see a lot of this going on tomorrow with the hockey talk, that'll be me. But okay, help us out with the comments, all you Blue Jackets fans, because God knows I'm going to be in a world of my own.
Well, I'm hoping he'll let me live stream on his Facebook group, because if he doesn't, we might not get that many comments.
So I was begging these guys for, man. Y'all show up anyway.
It might just be me and him talking back and forth, and Jeremy going, "What? I like hockey. It's cold.
Those sticks are really neat.
The puck is flat
and round.
I like it when they fight.
Best part. No blood, no love." But anyway, guys, as always, remember one thing and one thing only, and that is you don't live in Cleveland, you live in Cincinnati, so act like it.
Hooday! Be patient, Bengals fans. Be patient. And that's just sports, baby. See ya!